attracted a lot of objections. So we've seen that, English's argument attempts to ground the right to compete in contests that exclude boys in the right of all women to self-respect. And it seems like English's logic is kind of internally consistent, and it's a valid argument that she gives, but we might question the truth of some of the premises. So, for example, Tamburini questions the proposed link between the self-respect of women in general and their sporting performances. So, a lot of people have questioned, is this impact that English suggests actually going to happen? Is there, such a big link between sporting performances and self-respect? If we had completely integrated competitions and women were very unlikely to win them, would this have the dire results that she predicts about this impact on self-respect? And would this, have this impact of both men and women thinking that women are naturally inferior? This seems like a pretty big claim that English is making, and in the absence of a lot of evidence to back it up, we might think that it's kind of speculative, and so something that we could kind of write off as a kind of assumption that she is making that's maybe not super well grounded. And Tamburini goes further and says that giving equal scarce rewards for unequal performance could actually have the result that English is suggesting. So if we think that if there's a perception that women are being rewarded for performance that's not equal, this could reinforce negative prejudices about women, such as the idea that they're only getting the rewards that they're getting because of being in separate categories, and so contributing to this perception that, in some sense, that their success is undeserved. Whereas the solution that Tamburini suggests is taking policies which reaffirm women in the conviction that they are equally valuable as men, rather than segregating them. And so this suggestion here is that English's link that she draws between the self-respect of women in general and sporting performance is not something that justifies is not something that is justified, and so can't ground this appeal to segregated competition categories. Another objection here comes from Pam Sailors, where she critiques this message that's being sent by segregation. And she says that English's argument is kind of inconsistent because the policy of segregated categories in the first place reflects the assumption that, quote, women are unable to be competitive with men and thus must be protected. And so, again, we've seen that, English's argument is about self-respect and these kind of perceptual harms that are being done if the understandings of both men and women about women as a category are going to be done. It seems like segregation itself as a policy doesn't solve those problems. Instead, it simply reflects the assumption that women are going to be unable to be competitive. And so this, runs the same risk that English's own concern is setting out to alleviate.